Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are going to be taking a look at the quick sampler in Logic Pro and how you can get your own samples in there to make marvelous instruments. Okay, so it's really good, the quick sampler. Let me show you here. I have one already set up here, but if you want to know where it is, you go in here and then you go to Instruments, into Sampler, and then choose Quick Sampler, and then just Create. And this will create a quick sampler for you. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this here. So we've got two of them. So we've got two default patched quick samplers. So there's nothing in the MIDI. In fact, if you play the MIDI keyboard, it just plays this kind of sine wave thing. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's open our instrument panel here. And we can close that. Let's double tap on Quick Sampler. And here is the interface. Let's expand this here. So this is import. We have classic one shot and slice. But what we need to do is drag a sample in here. Now, the clever thing about Quick Sampler is whatever sample you drag in, it will detect its root key. And then you can still tune it, fine tune it, do loads of cool stuff with it. Okay, so first of all, we're going to get one of our samples in here. Just move up the thing here, and I'm just going to hold onto my file browser here, lift it up, and then just drop it there. And now I'm in my file browser. Now I'm going to choose, to start with, I'm going to choose something from Dean's Electronic Sounds Reflective Pack. I'm going to go to Synth here, and you'll see this, Dean's named all the notes here. So this is an A. Let's just play it. Okay, and what's this one? Basic piano. And you'll see that it's A. So I'm going to drag this basic piano into this. Now you'll see, use original tuning, loudness, looping, and length. No. I'm going to swing this out the way a sec. Drop it into optimize. So it optimizes tuneness, louding, searches for loop points, and crop silence. Let's drop that there. And it's imported it. Now there it is. Now, if I play it, and there's this A here, right? First thing I'm going to do is switch on this. And this is flex. Now you'll see that there's some delay on it. Let's expand this. And the higher I go up, that delay will stay at the same speed. Now, it still sounds synthetic, right? It doesn't sound right. I mean, it sounds great in tune. Let's do this. Let's go to our amp here, and let's just tap on this to expand the amp. Now, let's just move the release out a little bit. Nice, sounding better. Okay, let's close that. Let's look at the filter. Let's do this. Now, here's the thing. Let's save this as basic piano. So what we need to do is go over here. Okay, we'll go save as, and I'll just save this as, I'll save it as super basic piano. Okay, so we'll just go okay. Now, if we click this now and we go to user, there'll be nothing here. See, which is weird. You think, well, I've just saved that in my user patch, and you have. But if you go out again, go back into plugin presets, this may be a bug. You'll get the same menu, but all your patches will be here now. So I've got this one I did the other day. This one I did earlier. And this one called, which is the same as this, but without the modulation added. Anyway, let's go back to our super basic piano. Okay. Now remember that the imported key, let's close this. The imported key here was A, okay? So I need to do a little test. I want to see if it's scaled the keyboard correctly without me having to do anything else at all. So I'm going to close this one. I'm going to go to this one. This is another blank, and I'm going to open up. Oh, I don't need to do that. I can just slide across from here where it's here. There it is. I might have to do this with my finger. So there you go. Now I can find another one. So I'm going to go back. And I made some patches for MobileMusicPro for Vortex ages ago. Here they are here. One-shot instruments. And I know these are all in C because I recorded them in C. So let's just choose quick. Oh, that'll do. So that was sampled from my guitar. So I'm going to open up the thing for the second instrument, and I'm just going to drag this. I think it was this one, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm just going to drag this into there like that. I can do it from this screen. And there it is. We can slide this out the way now. Okay. Let's double tap to open it up. Let's just open it up full screen. I'm going to switch my flex on and follow tempo. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it sort of. Now I can choose the panning here and the volume, the amount of voices of polyphony we have. So if we go to mono, let's leave it at something like the 8, shall we? Let's default to that. And you can also, of course, okay, so that's quite nice. Let's see what else we can do here. So let's close this. We have 2 LFOs and a mod matrix, so we can modulate all this stuff. Let's put a bit of filter on here. We have filter envelope as well. We can also reverse it here. Okay, right. Let's see. Don't forget we can add our effects and stuff. This is not about that. This is about the quick sample. So close. So say for instance, we've got some pitch modulation here we can do. So have a look at that, shall we? It's basic pitch modulation. Now, if you were using an ordinary sampler, like just a sampler, and you didn't have this switched on, see how your notes finish at different times? This prevents this, so it's a more natural sounding, and it also keeps the sample speed the same wherever you play up the keyboard, which is super cool. Let's take the pitch mod off. Let's double tap that. You also have glide. But what's cool about this polyphonic? So let's see if we had a really long one, for instance. Okay. Now this also works for loops. If you drop a loop in here, it will keep the loop speed the same as you're playing up the keyboard. I'm going to find this most useful for making my own instruments like this sort of thing. So let's call this one, let's go to save as, let's call this one just basic guitar for now. Okay, so just hit OK. And now we've got our basic guitar. And if we go back out of our, well, it's there now because I'm in my one. But if you ever find that there's none there, just do what I said. Just go back out again, go to your plugin presets, and then go to using it. And they will be there. Like, it must be some sort of little bug. I'm sure it'll get fixed. But so now we've got our basic guitar one. Let's enhance this a little bit. But first, before we do that, this is important. I need to check. So I've got this one here. That's miles too loud, isn't it? Just turn the volume down a little bit for that. Maybe have a little bit more release on this. And I'll just override that a little bit. So that's saved. So I want to know if I'm going to play C. See? So remember, our super basic piano was a sample that was in A. And our basic guitar patch was something I sampled in C. You'll see on the keyboard, well, let me open the keyboard. So everything's tuned up for us. So let's make some more adjustments to this. Now, this is where this gets really cool. You can do more with the actual sampler. So let's open up an instrument here. Let's open up our quick sampler. And let's just expand this full screen. So here's our basic kind of sampler, our guitar patch we made. You've got loop regions, which is super useful. So let's just do an alternating loop region, right? So you play it. Let's have a look at this a sec, just for now. Here. Let's do this. Let's expand this loop. Now you've created a pad. It's never going to go away as long as you hold the keyboard, right? So and the different modes, of course, you can use for looping. And it's just continually going to go back. And then you've got crossfade adjustment. And now if you play a chord, you've created a sustainable instrument as well. Now I need to fix my release again for that. Now your velocity here, 0 velocity, and it will be the same volume no matter how hard you hit the key. Maximum velocity. And you've got velocity sensitive keyboard there. Lovely. Let's get into something else. Close that screen here so we can see what's going on. Let's close this screen here and let's have a look at our modulation. Right, so most obvious thing, so you hear this, we'll modulate the filter. Okay. We've got pitch modulation on there, so let's take that off, shall we? Not interfering with anything else. Right, now let's go to LFO1 here. We've got two LFOs, they're both the same, and then we have our modulation matrix where we can set up our LFOs. Our LFOs have all the waveforms that you would expect: random, smooth, random, square, saw, triangle, and sine, unipolar and bipolar. Also, it does. I'll show you this in a sec, the faded, and then the phase, poly, triangle, key trigger, and then the amount via and the target. Now let's go to our mod matrix, and you can choose like from aftertouch, mod wheel, pitch, bend, or velocity. Well, let's choose what else can we choose from? Let's see, LFO1. So we'll choose LFO1. You'll see it there, right? Let's, as a target, choose filter cutoff. Right, now let's give it an amount. Let's go back to LFO1 here. Now, that instrument there is the modulations have been applied instantaneously, right? But let's have that fade in. So it's I'm going to save this as a new patch, right? So I'm going to call this, I'll call this a bass, I'll just call this guitar modulated, eh? So let's save as guitar modulated. And that'll do for it. Okay, and if we go back to our presets now, or not our presets, go back to our presets, there's our guitar modulated. Now, it's not just about like making instruments. I'll show you one more example kind of thing of using Quick Sampler with, let's see, I'll use a kind of an ambient type thing. So let's just add in another instrument here. We could just duplicate, just add another. It's just as quick. Let's go and see what's going on. Let's open it up and let's, again, I'm just going to drag across my files browser, which is already open. I'm going to go back to, say, I think binaural samples, maybe. Let's just have a quick listen to this. Or maybe the supermarket one, some supermarket samples. Okay, that'll do. Joe going around as the recording stuff. Right, let's just drop that in there, and it's going to analyze that file. So let's get out of here and open our sampler up, and let's go full page. Close our browser. Now it's quite long, so I think the maximum it's done its maximum. I'm not sure if we can actually go any here, but I'm really not sure how how much you're allowed. But if I press a key now I'm going to, let's just close this. So accent, let's just test it. Let's close this. Let's switch Flexi on now. And I'm making instruments out of this, but I want this to be really ethereal, so I'm going to, we can do fades here. In fact, I'm going to shorten it, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to, so it's kind of, it's just, awesome stuff. And then I'm also going to have this loop. I'm going to have it loop alternate, so it'll ping pong. Don't know why I can't sample start. Oh, here we go. Set that. And it should loop now. Perfect. Look, I'm going to do some crossfading. I'm going to go to my amp and give it some release if I let go. Perfect. I'm just holding my finger on the keyboard now, so see what we've got here. And now you've got like a playable ambience. Let's have a quick look in here as well and do some extreme pitch modulation for a moment. Now I'm not sure. Sure how how noticeable that will be on this kind of patch, but you heard it on the other one anyway. And then to finish off, we could add some effects in, you know. We go to our, let's just minimize this a sec so we can see our instrument view here. Let's add some, we'll add some chroma verb. In fact, you know what might sound nicer on that sample? Let's go to quick sampler a sec. Is on the ADSR, we have it a fast attack, slow attack. You know, for when it initially kind of comes in. Type of room. Bloomy. Awesome. I'm gonna minimize this. Epic stuff. Shall I save this one? Should we save this as, I'll just save it as supermarket. It won't, don't forget though, this is saving this. It's not going to save that as well. We'd have to save this as a kind of a preset patch. But it's, so it won't save the chroma verb, but it'll save this, all this work we've done in it. So I'll just go save as supermarket pad, just for fun. And okie dokie. And now, if we go back into our, sorry, let's go here, go into user. Again, it's done that because this was a new instance. Remember, we created a new one. So goes back into plugin and then go into user. And our supermarket pad there is now there. So there you go, guys. There is a look at Quick Sampler, and some of the cool things. Now, your imagination can run wild, right? Drop any sample in there you like and just go bonkers and have a real good fun time messing around with it. All the cool stuff you can do. Fabulous for creating instruments out of your own sounds, because it really makes a big effort on stretching it out properly and making it all kind of, the dogs stretching it out properly. Anyway, brilliant, top job, cool beans. And Watson sitting behind me, it set him off. Listen, brilliant. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, like I said, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a Patreon, and I will see you all later. Ta-ra.